Ghosts, UFOs, monsters, Mothman, Chupacabra, the Mandela effect. This and more you will find at the Fringe feature all this and more at the Fringe feature movie hour. I will try to scare the pants off of you. Enjoy. Good night. Hello, people. This is G Video 34. I'm not always a funny guy. I got a serious side to me too, and this has been bugging me lately about the world. I wrote it off a few years later. I ran across a book that said Berenstein, and I wrote it off. I thought in my mind, man, maybe they just changed the name of it. But this Mandela effect has been on my mind lately. It's like it seems like everything I knew was true seems to have changed. Like I've been watching these videos lately, and I know damn well, for Christ's sakes, the fucking Scarecrow didn't have a goddamn gun in Wizard of Oz. I wouldn't remember that shit. I mean, I've seen that movie when I was a little fucking kid. That would have scared the shit out of me. Goddamn Scarecrow with a gun. Who wouldn't remember that shit? I'm a little iffy. I mean, another thing that's kind of freaking crazy is the Luke I am your father stuff. I mean, I watched that movie 1,000 times. How did I not know it was Luke I am your father? I mean, it's like it's something's going on. I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm a Star Wars fanatic. A lot of people, some people know it, some people don't, and I don't know how the hell I would know that. But I'm starting a new segment on my channel. I'm gonna call it the Fringe feature movie hour. It'll change in the future if I think it's something better. We're gonna do monster movies. We're gonna do Fringe stuff like this Mandela effect. We're going to do real life stuff. Maybe the devil, the Fringe, paranormal, you name it. This right here is my buddy Ted. He's my only surviving, artifact, I'll call it, from the house I grew up from. I'll get more into Ted later on down the line, but he's very important to me right now. It's the only thing I got left in my childhood, and he's pretty much a key to unlocking my own life. So, sort of, Ted's got the answers. He's a good guy. Okay, enough of this nonsense. This is a serious video here. Anyways, so this segment is going to be on the Mandela effect. I can tell you this stuff straight up, and I'm not, I was born nuts, but I'll have to tell you that the stuff that's going on right now in the world is beyond insane. I mean, even more insane than my level. I mean, you're telling me all the stuff I knew was true is false now? I mean, what kind of position does that put somebody in, that everything they believed in and they knew was true is false? I mean, I have nothing to stand on now. I mean, my whole world is, it sounds crazy, but my whole world is kind of upside down right now. I mean, Berenstein is Berenstain, what's his name? Forrest Gump says, life was like a box of chocolates. Now it is a box of chocolates. I mean, trying to think of what else there is that I remember. The Challenger, I think that I remember it happening in 1984, not in 1986. I could be wrong on that one, but I remember being 8 years old because that was when I could have swore it happened when I was 8. I could be wrong on that one. Maybe I was 10. I don't know, but I know for a fact that Scarecrow didn't have a fucking gun. I'll put $10 million on that sucker if I had it, that he didn't have a damn gun. That's like a smoking gun, literally, of the world being solid. I mean, that that's never happened. We all know it never happened. I mean, come on, Scarecrow with a gun. Well, I'll take that pancake off that griddle there, and I won't beat a dead pancake to death, with syrup or something, Well, sorry about that, but it's just baffles my mind. A lot of people are saying it's CERN. I've been joking around with some coworkers saying that I'm from Earth 2, and I'm a Earth 2 guy trapped in an Earth guy's body, pretty much, because I have these memories of another Earth, and I'm on this Earth where all this crap going down. Wouldn't that be nice if you're actually just a guy that's trapped? Your Earth is the better Earth, and you're trapped on a shittier Earth, and maybe there's a way you can get back. I mean, if only they were true. It probably isn't. It's probably something more spiritual, or maybe it is some kind of paranormal thing with CERN where they opened up like some kind of black hole or some other dimension, and it's like merging with our dimension. Who the hell knows with science? I mean, everybody these days, they think they're know-it-alls, and they think that something sciencey like world multiverses merging and giving people different memories is are changing the world around them isn't a scientific thing, but I'm pretty sure probably it could be. It probably is, for all I know. It might not be anything paranormal to it. It might be a science thing, a very sophisticated science thing, for all we know. Who knows? But and that's my thing. It's Berenstain or Steen for me. The Jewish one. And I think I vaguely remember Captain instead of Cap N. Vaguely I remember that, and I'm trying to think of what else. There's so much crap here that might have changed. How do you have a scoreboard here? It's like, let me pause this video to maybe collect some of my thoughts on some of the stuff. There's so much stuff. Sorry guys, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I remember one thing. I remember spelling Fruit Loops with Fruit. I remember that much. None of this Fruit crap. I don't know where they came up with that stuff. You know, and there's double stuff. I remember that with two F's. You know, right now I feel like I'm sort of like an invader. It's like I feel like I'm like some dude trespassing on somebody else's world because doesn't seem like the world I live in. I mean, this is starting to sound crazy, but that's how I feel right now. It's like I don't own this world. It's not a part of me. It's like so foreign to me now with this Mandela effect stuff that I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. I threw the book out the window and I'm just going with it now. It's like, I'm not even gonna begin to. I'll talk about it here, but it's like, fuck it. I'm done. I'm out. When the fucking scarecrow has a gun, I'm fucking out of here. And the Tin Man doesn't have an axe. I think it is. I know he always had a fucking axe. If he didn't have an axe in that movie, there's something wrong. But I know for damn sure the Tin Man or the Scarecrow never had a fucking gun. And one of my friends back in the day told me that somebody committed suicide on the set of Wizard of Oz or something. I don't know. That's another conspiracy theory going around. I heard it really happened though. Who knows? I guess I'm out. I mean, I had enough of this. This is beyond ridiculous. I can't think of anything more. I mean, I guess it's so much stuff that I'm on overload. So it's like, forget it. But like I'll just say it's the Berenstein thing, Fruit Loops, Star Wars. I mean, I remember it being Luke is your father, even though I said I didn't. I mean, I sort of a little bit. I'll remember it being that way. Trying to think what else. And the double stuff with two F's, and oh wait, I forgot the most important thing. You guys are gonna love this. I remember running Time Cop a while back. I mean, this is when it first came out, and I remember seeing this alternate scene in the VHS that we rented. I don't know if this is, if it's a real thing or a Mandela effect thing, but it had this like alternate scene that I haven't seen in Time Cop yet. I even looked at the bonus features in the DVD I got today, and It's like it's not there. This scene is not there. I think it's when they try to kill his mother off or something like that. And there's a little bit more to it than that. That might be in the bonus scene, but I don't. And there's some other parts I remember, but they weren't in the original Time Cop, and at all. So it's like there's a little Time Cop stuff and Time Cop stuff, pretty much together. But those bonus scenes that seem to be in the the Reynolds VHS that wasn't in the regular movie, so I kind of find kind of odd now. And I hear in one of the videos I'm about to show you. Sorry about that. I had a notification. One of the videos I'm about to show you, there's a guy that played a really cool game like Fallout 4 back probably 20 years ago before it was even thought of. What kind of shit is that? Imagine somebody pulls out like Fallout 4 on you, or like what's the Elder Scrolls. I mean, I would have been blown. I probably would have had a heart attack. It would be so cool. But I guess it's enough of my rambling. I'm glad you're here to listen to me, and I'm gonna put on the Fringe feature for you right now, and you enjoy. And I'm glad you got to meet Ted. He's been around with me for a long time. We went through hell together. I mean, a lot of hell that I can't even describe. You wouldn't believe me if I told you anyways. But we're good buddies together. And here's the feature. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm gonna do this every Saturday to scare the living pants off your asses if I can. You guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Okay, everybody. This video here is going to blow your mind. I've been researching this for quite a few hours now, and I've just totally lost my mind over this. This is incredible. I have never come across anything like this, and not being able to find anyone who has a logical explanation for it either. So yesterday, my son, he starts asking me some questions. He's asking me, well, how do you spell Bernstein Bears, Dad? And how do you spell Looney Tunes? And stuff like this. And so I told him, and I got everything wrong. And so he's telling me, he says, well, this is called the Mandela effect, Dad. It has to do with parallel universes and the fabric of reality having shifted or overlapped with another reality. I couldn't believe what I was hearing from my 13-year-old boy. And frankly, I didn't believe most of what he was saying. So I have spent years listening to David Icke, Michael Tessarian, Jordan Maxwell, Mark Passio. Not because I believe everything that these guys say, but they help me put things in perspective, because I haven't felt like things were right ever since 9/11. In 2001, I thought that I was waking up to reality, or, I thought I was. But after doing all this research on the Mandela effect, I can't help but feel our current reality is different and has changed from the one that I was once part of. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but stick with me. You're going to want to check this out. I'm going to ask you some questions, and we're going to go through this, and your mind's going to be blown. I'm telling you. Mine was. I know it is. I know yours going to blow your mind. Watch. Okay, so something really strange here is going on. And not everyone remembers everything. There's a lot of these. I'm just going to point out maybe about, 15 to 20 that stick out for me. But there's a lot of other ones, I didn't even know the people, so they didn't make much sense for me. So I not putting them in this video. But you can check that out on your own. Anyway, everything just kind of seems upside down to me, and things just don't seem right anymore. So there's something going on here. So let's start off with why it's called the Mandela effect. He asked me, when did Nelson Mandela die? And I said, well, I think he died like in the 80s in prison. I remember that. But then I also remember he died not too long ago, so I was kind of confused. So then he says, well, he died in December 2013, Dad. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I have a thought of him dying a lot earlier. And then he started in with this. This is how this whole thing came about in about September of last year. And I can't believe I didn't find out about it till now. But anyway, Bernstein Bears. I remember it always being Bernstein Bears. Stein. I read these books as kids. I probably had this book right here, The Bear's Vacation. I don't remember Bernstein. Like a stain on your shirt. I would have remembered Bernstein. Well, that's not what I remember them being called. They were the Bernstein Bears, not Bernstein. So there were people arguing about this. And you go look at all the old, this is a picture of an old book right here from probably 70s. It's got AIN. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into this here. I'm going to ask you a question, and just whatever the first thought that comes to mind is, it's probably the one you're going to want to go with because you haven't thought about this in a long time. So let's go with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which I'm sure a lot of you know. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. But is it? A beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's what I remember. Well, apparently, that's not what he says. So let's listen to what he says.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Okay, that just doesn't seem right to me. I don't remember it that way. It could have always been that way, but that's not what I remember. Okay, so let's move on. This next one is more compelling because of what goes along with it. Now, here's a video on YouTube from 2011. Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolate. I remember that. They titled it, Life is like a box of chocolate. Well, let's see what he says. You never know what you're going to get. Mama says life's like a box of chocolate. All right, let's hear what he says.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
My mama always says life was like a box of chocolates. That doesn't make any sense. It was like a box of chocolates. It is like a box of chocolates. So I go look, Google search here. Life is like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. How do all these people get the quote wrong? It's one of the most famous quotes in a movie. Life is like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates here. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, you get the point. Now, there are some, you go further down, they say was. Because that's what the movie says. Life was like a box of chocolates. Here you go here. So, all right, this is crazy. I remember it being is. Life is like a box of chocolates. I mean, that's what I remember. Even the person titled it here. And then you go down here, there's people commenting saying, look, they got the title of this video wrong. Where's it at? Well, all these people are freaked out. They're talking about the Mandela effect here. He's not saying life is like a box of chocolate. He's saying life was. Yeah, but for those of us, Reese here could be a young kid. I don't know. Younger people, they don't seem to have these memories, obviously, because they weren't around when this came out. They maybe were just babies or something. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you are going to remember this one. I mean, everybody knows this line. I heard it my whole life. Blank, I am your father. From Star Wars. What did he say? Blank, I am your father. I remember him saying, Luke, I am your father. Well, that's not what he said. We go look at the movie. If you have the VHS original movie, go put it in. He doesn't say Luke. Here's the movie. Try and prove any of this wrong, anybody. Here's the movie.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
No, I am your father. That's not how I remember the movie, but I guess I just mistaken. I thought it was something else all this time. All right, so moving along, let me ask you this. You ever use Febreze to freshen up the air and, your furniture, your couch, your carpet, whatever? Okay. I always thought it was Febreze, 2 E's. Or is it Febreze? What do you remember it being? I can't find any images on Google where it's got two E's. Everything is Febreze. Febreze, which looks weird to me. Does it look weird to you? I don't know. Looks weird to me. All right, this next one is really odd. The creator of Peanuts, Charlie Brown. Is his last name Schultz or is it Scholes? I remember it being Schultz. But for some reason, it's Schulz now. Let's go look. Charles M. Scholes. Okay. I don't remember that being his name. I remember it being Schultz. So let's go. I brought up a Google Trends here. This is a little interesting here. Okay, so this is what it is now. Charles Scholes. I remember it being Schultz with a T. Okay, so on Google Trends, Charles Schultz, people were looking for Schulz and the T, the ULTZ, about the same during 07, 08, 09. But as we get closer to 2011, 2012, a lot fewer folks are searching for the TZ. And here it's almost, what, 4 to 1. Almost, 4.5 to 1. People are looking for the ULZ now. So this is kind of odd here. Are your memories of Oscar Meyer or Oscar Mayer? Seems like I remember Meyer. But you can't find Meyer anywhere. Even these old images. Oscar Mayer, Mayer, everywhere. The new stuff, old stuff. It just doesn't look right to me. Mayer. It just doesn't look right. I did a Google trend on this. The Mayer, Mayer. They're looking for the Meyer in 2005. More people were looking for that because that's what I remember. A lot of this stuff, see now, over time here, way fewer people are looking for the EYER. And the AYER kind of took over. I thought they changed the name. Like Jiffy Peanut Butter. I thought it was Jiffy. I bought it and I a month ago, I bought some peanut butter. Hadn't had any for a long time, and it says JIF, Jif. Oh, wow, they changed the label, I thought to myself. I didn't think much of it after that. And then, I look at all this stuff, and there never, ever was a Jiffy. There was Skippy, but I remember Jiffy peanut butter. It's always been Jif. You go look, it's JIF on all the old bottles in the 60s. All right, really crazy. I don't know what's going on here, everybody. This is just really odd. And I know a lot of you are going to feel the same way. I just know it because I have these memories. A lot of people have these memories. Here's a newer one. Oreos double stuff. Is it STUFF or STUF? I remember 2 Fs. Well, I guess there's always been 1 F. This is an old picture. You can look at the newer pictures. Everything is 1 F. 1 F. The newer ones are 1F. So, yeah, here's a newer packaging. Double stuff, STUF. I mean, seems like it was just stuff like weeks ago, STUFF. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Did CERN open up some portal or some wormhole or something and change the space-time continuum? Are we on some other timeline? I mean, what's going on here? Or am I just losing it? I know I'm not losing it because I did a lot of research and there were a lot of people who agreed with me on Facebook and stuff. And Facebook, usually, they don't care about the stuff that I talk about. But this is normal stuff. I haven't even really started questioning people. I'm going to call my brother up tonight and I'm going to say, hey, how did they spell Looney Tunes when you were a kid? My brother had, well, we'll get there in a minute. All right, let's move on real quick. I got to speed this up here. Skechers. This just doesn't look right to me. Skechers. I can't find anywhere where it says has a T. I thought it was Sketchers. Well, I've always been wrong. It was always spelled like this. Looney Tunes. How do you spell tunes? Is it Tunes or Toons? Like cartoons? Well, what do you say? I thought it was Toons. That's what I remember. That's what my memory is of what it looked like. Well, you search all the images and you get tunes, like music tunes, Looney Tunes. All the old images, everything's tunes, Tunes, everywhere. Search it yourself. What the hell? Different Strokes. Remember that show? Was it different, like Diffferent or Diff''RENT? I don't remember that. Maybe it was this. I just don't remember it looking like that. But you look at all the old images and everything's with apostrophe. Now I'm starting to think, well, maybe it was that, and I just don't remember. Johnny Quest. Any of you watch Johnny Quest? Johnny Quest. Joni? Jonny? That doesn't look right. I remember seeing this cartoon, reruns of it when I was 8, 9, 10. Jonny Quest. I mean, that's what it always was. I hope someone remembers there being an H. All right, let's look at Field of Dreams. If you build it, blank will come. What was it? Do you remember? I remember it being they. Well, if we listen to the movie, it didn't say they.
If you build, he will come.
He will come. Okay? Well, this is just like the Forrest Gump. If you build it, they will come. Well, why did this person screw it up? If you build it, they will come. Well, why are these people screwing up these famous quotes in the movies? If you build it, they will come. Well, somehow the movie's different, but some of this old artwork or these old memes or whatever, they didn't get changed. So what's going on here? I don't know. Remember Evel Knievel? Was it Evel Knievel or Evil? Evil? Was it evil? It could have been evil, Evel. But I remember my brother, I specifically remember this toy when I was like 3 years old. I remember him getting this toy for Christmas right here. And it just says Evel Knievel. Evil, Evel. I just don't remember it looking like that. It seemed like there was an I there. What do you guys say? We got two more here. Captain Crunch. I remember Captain, Captain. But when I looked this up, it's CAP''N. And apparently has been my whole life. Captain Crunch. Cap'n. I just never noticed that. I never called it Cap'n. Has it always been Cap'n? I thought it was Captain Crunch. Apparently it's always been Cap'n. Here's the last one. And there's a lot more of these. These are just the ones I picked out. Fruit Loops. Here's the old boxes of Fruit Loops. Now here's a person, 2006, put something on YouTube. Well, they didn't know. They spelled it wrong. Kellogg's Fruit Loops cereal commercial 1987. They thought it was Fruit like I remember it being. And you'll find that other place here, here's a classic anime Kellogg's Fruit Loops. That's what they wrote because that's what they thought. I thought it was. I don't remember OOT. This looks odd to me. Does it look odd to you? I don't know. Something's going on, everyone. And it's continuing. It seems it's starting to speed up. So, I don't know. This is just really crazy. I don't know what to think. There's people that are just poo-pooing it, saying, some people believe in this Mandela effect theory. It's a conspiracy theory. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, people might be conspiring to change this stuff. Go back and change it and say, you're crazy. It always was this. But it's not a theory, it's an effect. I mean, this has happened. It's not a theory of something. To me, it's happened. It's happened to me. I think a lot of you are going to feel like it's happened to you too. I mean, I think a lot of people just feel uncomfortable, so they find a way to write it off as a conspiracy theory, just like everything else. Even though it's an effect that's happened. So, we could get into a lot of other information, but I'm just going to leave this as for what it is right now, the Mandela effect. Please leave comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And I'm getting close to 10,000, so I'm kind of excited about that. A lot of my stuff's financial, but I do.
Hey everybody, Texas Shrugged. Okay, a possible new Mandela effect. The Scarecrow has a gun, wields a gun, a revolver. Now, my advice with Mandela effects is to always go to the residuals. What else is on the internet? Not to go to the actual clip. I mean, look for the residuals, gobble up the residuals, and see if there are inconsistencies. This video is not going to be professionally produced. I just don't have time. It's not going to be for most people. If it's blowing you away that the Scarecrow now wields a gun, stick with me over the next 12 minutes or so, and we'll try to figure this out. Kansas City Star. Who in the name of Oz gave the brainless guy a handgun? And there is no doubt at this point, I've researched it enough, that if you go back and pull out your old VHS copy from 27 years ago, he wields a gun when they're about to go into the haunted forest, or I guess approach the witch's castle. So this article, interesting enough, is from 2014, and it's making a kind of, people are saying, well, how did, we didn't notice this. I mean, a lot of people hadn't noticed. Well, yeah, if it's a Mandela effect, you hadn't noticed because it hadn't existed. That's kind of the whole point of Mandela effect or quantum effect. So this guy says here, I'll read a lot of this because it might be too small for many of you to see it. I saw The Wizard of Oz recently at MOMA, blah, blah, blah. I was paying close attention, and yes, I noticed the Scarecrow does carry a silver revolver. So again, he noticed it. This is new to this person. It's new to a lot of people. And if this is the most beloved movie for almost 90 years, then it shouldn't be new to anyone. To me, that is a residual, a major residual, that this is or could be a quantum effect. It should be old hat, just like if you say, oh, a Mandela effect. The Tin Man carries an axe. Everyone would say, well, of course he carries an axe. If this is new to a lot of people, well, that's kind of a tip-off that this could be a Mandela effect. See how that works? I am sure there must be some explanation. I think it was included on accident. Okay, he's basically saying all the weapons that they come in with. The Tin Man now has a big pipe wrench, and the Scarecrow, has a gun, and the Lion has a big butterfly net. These weapons quickly disappear just a few seconds later in the same scene. So people are saying also that that's kind of why we don't remember. But personally, I mean, if I would have remembered seeing the gun, because I would have said to myself, okay, great, the Scarecrow, I'm really rooting for him as a child. He has a gun, okay? They're gonna do well in this face-off with the witch. It would have really made me feel good, believe it or not, that he had the gun. And I can't believe I would have missed it. This is the scene. I mean, this is not a close-up. There's one clip where they just go to these two, and that gun is right in your face in the movie. So let's see what else people are saying. It's a little slow when I record. Your Scarecrow's got a gun. What's this? Everybody run. The Scarecrow of Oz has a gun. Let's see if there's a date on this. There isn't, but it's, it's obviously relatively new. It's on the internet. So one of the things people would say about Mandela effect or quantum effect, this is old hat and we've seen this for 90 years. Why would be people writing articles about it? Right? We all grew up watching this movie we all saw it 20 to 50 times. So there are many unexplainable things in this world of ours, unanswerable questions. Where do those mysterious crop circles come from? Who built Stonehenge? Blah, blah, blah. There's one question, though, that has slipped under the radar for most observers. A question regarding an oddity about a movie classic. The movie in question, Wizard of Oz. Why does the Scarecrow have a gun? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, huh? What are you talking about? The Scarecrow didn't have a gun. Au contraire. Now, I don't know the date of this, but this, again, is more evidence that it is a Mandela effect. People... I know what you're thinking. Where did the Scarecrow didn't have a gun? Well, again, this isn't a gun that like flashes for a microsecond in the background. It's in a scene, and it's in a close-up in a scene of 3 to 4 or 5 seconds. So 90% of Americans should remember there being a gun, and 10% just forgot, or this is towards the end of the movie. So to me, that's more evidence this is a Mandela effect. Meaning, if you're new to this, meaning he didn't have a gun in The Wizard of Oz you've been watching since 1960 or 1970, depending on how old you are. If it's a Mandela effect, it means he didn't have a gun in the reality we all remember. And this is a new reality, not a change in the movie or the added or deleted scene. So what else do we have? We have this. Movie goofs. There's something here I saw. Here it is. In the scene where the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow are going to the witch's castle in search of Dorothy, the Tin Man has an axe in his hand. The Lion has an exterminating device. It's like a chemical sprayer and looks like a butterfly net. And the Scarecrow has a pistol. Where did he suddenly get a gun? And there's 4 exclamation points here. Again, just someone else that's blown away. And this is a relatively, whether this website's 5 years old or 1 year old, it doesn't really matter. It's relatively new that people are shocked that he has a gun. Well, why wouldn't that be old hat to us if we've seen the movie so long? What else do we have here? Movie mistakes. Let's see if there's what's here. No, there's nothing. I've seen this website. There's nothing really here. Let's go. Okay. Who knew that the Scarecrow had a freaking gun in The Wizard of Oz? I don't know what this site is. We'll take a look. NeoGAF. NeoGAF.com. Who knew the Scarecrow had a freaking gun in The Wizard of Oz? When was this done? 2012. 2012. So it shows, look at, I don't know if you can see this, how small it is, but he's like pointing it at the Tin Man or something, right? Oh, that's still the scene where they're about to go into he's not really pointing it at the Tin Man. It looks that way. I think he's spinning the lion around because the lion wants to flee. And but there's this is a close-up, okay, this top image. So if you were watching this in the theater in 19 whatever it was, 30 whatever, this screens, or it probably ran at some point in the 40s as well at certain theaters. The screens are huge, like 50 feet across by 30 feet up. This is what you would have seen on the screen. The Tin Man here, the Lion and the Scarecrow would have been 20 feet tall. This is not like a cutout of part of what you see. This is the image on the giant screen, and the gun would have been 5 feet tall on the screen, and we all missed it. I think it's more evidence it's a Mandela effect. Look, I don't really, it is possible. It's towards the end of the movie. A lot of kids have dozed off at that point, but we all remember, the scene, of course, where they go to, see the wizard and all the smoke and the lightning, and then at the end with the hot air balloon. Well, we did stay to the end a few times, right? So how do we miss the gun? Did anyone else notice the Scarecrow had a gun? December 28th, 2011. Okay, just because these go back in time from a quantum effect perspective, it doesn't mean that, oh, this was noticed in 2011, this isn't a quantum effect. If it was a quantum effect and all of history has been rewritten, then this would have been rewritten too. People might, in 1961, somebody might have commented to someone else, "Did you know he had a gun?" So it's been rewritten. There isn't an exact moment where this quantum effect and people start noticing changes. It doesn't. I mean, if by arguing that this could be a Mandela effect, if I see posts from 2011, it doesn't convince me it's not. If you see what I'm saying. So I always have a couple movies I like to rewatch with friends, blah blah blah. Anyway, I was watching with a friend tonight and saw something ridiculous in the Scarecrow's hand. At first, I didn't think it was there, and I was seeing things, but then it was in a couple more scenes. Well, it disappears pretty quickly, I think, but I'll check that. It happens right after they retrieve the witch's broomstick, blah 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 blah. Scarecrow is pointing and waving around his gun. What did he intend to do with it? Well, really? Somebody write, well, if he was attacked by flying monkeys, he was going to blow them away, of course, right between the eyes. Boom. I would have liked to have seen that. Was he planning on blowing the witch's brains out? Well, yeah, if she was going to use dark magic on you, let's use good old American 1870 ingenuity to blow her brains out. Why did the lion have a net? Oh, boy. Anyway, it's just another person surprised. There's going to be a lot of people surprised, and I don't know. If this isn't a Mandela effect, well, why? There's going to be a lot of buzz about this now, and why now? Why not in 2005 or 1982? Who knows? Until then, I'm not. This is not an anchor Mandela or quantum effect with me, like Interview with a Vampire. I know it's Interview with a Vampire. I know it. If you build it, they will come. They will come. I know that's what it is and always was. This is not a major anchor for me. Could I have missed it? You know, it's only in a few seconds of the movie, even though it's in a close-up. Yes, I could have missed it. But it certainly looks like this could be one. Until the next time.
Hello. I got one more thing to note before I leave. I just want to say this whole Mandela effect has a positive thing. At least now you can go back and watch your old movies and watch them with new eyes because everything's fucking changed. Well, whoever the fucker that did it, he did it. It doesn't matter. I guess our movies are changed now. Go back and watch it with new eyes and enjoy them. For all us Mandelaers or whatever you call us, people who are changed by this effect. I think probably all of us are, and nobody wants to admit it. I mean, only a few of us will, but isn't that the way with everything? I told somebody today, it took only a few % of people to get this country, formed and everything. I mean, it's very few people on this planet that want to actually step up and do anything or say anything, so that's nothing new. So I just wanted to leave with that thought. Enjoy, go back and watch that crazy gun scene of Wizard of Oz. I know I want to now. I mean, that's crazy. And I want to go back and maybe watch Forrest Gump and listen to it again or something, because I love that movie. But you guys have a great day and go watch it with new eyes, and let me know how you think about all this stuff. Take care for now. See you next Saturday. This has been the Fringe feature movie hour. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful Saturday. Ghosts, UFOs, monsters, Mothman, Chupacabra, the Mandela effect. This and more you will find at the Fringe feature movie hour. All this and more at the Fringe feature movie hour. I will try to scare the pants off of you. Enjoy. Good night.